Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being part of this. I really appreciate it. My name is Clara Torres Jameson. I am the founder of Financial Divas Group. And this program or this video is all about planning and getting you set up for your 3-month plan along with your worst case scenario plan. This will help you understand exactly how to do it. And we are going to go and deep dive into it. Please understand that we are all in this together. We are all going through major shifts, and that is okay. The best thing to do right now is just to take the next step and to do the best thing that you can do, right? It's not to be idle, it's not to not be taking an action, because that's when depression comes in and a lot of things happen. Just so you understand, also I am a yoga teacher, wellness coach certified, as well as I am certified in real estate, taxes, and finances. So although I have not seen this situation happening, mind you, and no one has, I understand very well the situation, in the sense of that I have lost my job twice. I've been, let go twice in my lifetime. I also have dealt with 4 recessions, so I know a thing or two about it, and things that I've done that has actually helped me in the process. So I hope that these steps will help you understand, or at least understand where you're at objectively, and be able to move forward as best as you possibly can. Okay. So without further ado, so here's the 3-month plan. For the next 3 months, I want you to understand exactly what it is. What is your snapshot? Where you are? Where are you? So get all your bills and your statements, your credit cards, your loans, your utilities, your mortgage, everything. Just get all of them. I prefer you getting 3 months pass, but if you don't have the 3 months, that's fine. Just get the latest one, and then use the FDG expenses one sheet or the Excel provided to you, and then write down all your expenses monthly and total amount and when they are due. Now, just so you understand, write down all your expenses. That means that you're going to categorize them by name, and you're going to put the minimum monthly amount, not that you're paying, but that they're asking you to pay. So that is a very, very important distinction, because what we're going to be doing right now is creating a plan where it becomes, or you become, more liquid, meaning that you have more cash in your bank. Okay, so the most important thing is not that you want to be paying this amount or you want to be debt free. Right now is about getting you as liquid as you possibly can, so that way if something bad happens or it gets worse, you're able to at least have some cash to do something with. Okay, so make sure that is the minimum monthly amount that is due. And then on the total owed, what I want you to do is, you already know what the total due is. If you have a mortgage, if you have a credit card bills, if you have loans, you know that information by looking at your bills. But you may not know that if you're a renter, or you may not know that if you have, like, for instance, for utilities, for any variable bills. So for that, what I want you to do is take your rent and multiply it by 9. Take your utility bill, your last bill, or the highest bill, and multiply it by 9. And any other bills that are not very fixed in nature, I want you to multiply them by 9. That's going to give you a total owed for the rest of the 9 months. This will give you a snapshot of everything. Then in the Excel sheet or in your expense one sheet, I want you to multiply by 3 months the monthly amount. This will give you the information on what exactly it is that you need for the next 3 months. Then you're going to write down what your savings account, what you have. I don't want you to write down the total. I want you to write it by bank account. So if you have one bank account, that's your total. If you have 3 bank accounts, I want you to classify each account separately. And the reason why I say that is because I need you to make sure that each account, each savings account, and each checking account is FDIC insured. It is one of the most important things that we need to do right now. The reason why is because we don't know how long the recession is going to be. We don't know if we're going to go into a depression. We don't know anything right now. Right now, we have to plan as if the worst can happen, right? Just so you understand, there might be some triggering words here as well. Please understand that you could stop at any moment and you could come back to it and then take the steps. Listen to your body, listen to what is telling you and your emotions. If you are able to, please journal every night, because it's going to help you as much as possibly it can, and it will help with the anxiety as well. Um, I will include a podcast about talking about anxiety that I did with my podcast, Questions Asked podcast. So check that out if you are experiencing any. So then once you write down how much savings do you have, then determine what you won't buy. You're going to highlight what you won't buy on your credit card bills, and make sure that if there was anything that you bought recently and that you can return, you return it, right? Again, it's all about liquidity. Then what you're going to do is what you can do without. So you're going to delete, you're going to basically determine what you could do without. That is clothing, that is anything that is not essential, like your rent, your mortgage, your food. Honestly, that's really what's essential right now, because we can't even go outside. So you need to make sure that that is your main concern. Then what needs to be renegotiated? You're going to write down exactly what you can renegotiate, like your credit card bills or your utilities, or your mortgages, things like that. In renegotiation, it means that you may get a lower APR, you may get a offer of any sorts from the credit cards, you may get a payment plan, anything that could actually alleviate the situation at hand. So that way, if by any chance you don't have any savings, but by the way, it's okay right now, there's nothing wrong with that. You're able to survive as much as you possibly can with what you have, right? Then you're going to determine what the essentials are, what essential expenses are, and place them on automatic payment. The essential expenses are based on minimum payment due, not what you want to pay, but minimum payment due, and even based on the payment plans that you put in place with these companies. Keep that in mind. This is all about lowering your expenses as much as possible and as easy as possible, because it's very important. Now, make sure that there are plans that are going to ask you to defer. Just a word of caution on that. That is okay if you feel is best for you. However, just understand that if you defer, you will still owe the amount. That does not necessarily mean that you won't owe the amount. And sometimes you will owe that amount plus interest on it. So please be very careful when you are setting up the scenarios. If I would prefer, and I would suggest, you do a payment plan with each company and you pay what you can right now versus deferred of payment. Now, if deferred of payment is the only thing that they have available, then you take that right now because you're trying to figure out what you want to do, and we move forward, okay? Now, let's talk about if shit hit the fan plan. This is your worst case scenario plan after the 3 months have passed. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know how we're going to stand economically after 3 months. And the reason why I say 3 months is because all doctors are saying that this will take 3 months to kind of clear out or understand where we at. So with that being said, we are going to, there is in the Excel, there is a plan for you that you can actually include all this information. So the plan includes create 3 columns in a piece of paper or use the Excel. And column A will be the worst case situation, the WCS. Then column B is what are the facts, and then column C, what are the possible solutions. I need you to be very, very clear with what are the facts, what are the possible solutions, and what are your case situation. And the reason why is because you have to be honest with yourself as to where you are right now and what possibly things could be affecting you in the near future. Think of everything. Anything is possible, think of it. And then write down what are the facts, and then write down what the possible solutions are. The facts can be that is based on, if I don't have enough savings, when is it exactly that I will owe and start owing? What are the laws that are helping you or not helping you? What are your rights? What are the things that you need to be mindful of that are out there? What are what are programs out there that are available to you in case you lose your job, or in case you don't have money to pay your bills, like things like that. What are the facts? What is out there for you, but what also are the possibilities that is definitely we know is a fact. And then Just Shelter, if you can go to justshelter.org to understand and know who to call based on your state, and learn your rights and get housing information assistance, that would be great. Also go to the FCC to understand which utility companies are doing the pledge of Keep Americans Connected during this time period. That is all your, Verizon, AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile. Also go to your utility programs or your state website program, your state websites, because they also provide payment plans and information about what utility companies are available to you to help you. Then you could go to aba.com to find out which banks are providing banking services to help with the situation. So keep that in mind. I will include that in this as well, so that way you have it available. And stick to the facts and pick the best solutions possible for each worst case scenario, or WCS. If more than one person is living with you, discuss it with them and make sure that you are aligned with each other on what's the best possible solution. Mind you, there is always a solution to everything. So put on your creative hat, make sure that you are as creative as you possibly can be, and don't be shy, and do not allow your ego to take over. You are not above anything, and you're not beneath anything, but you're not above anything. So make sure that you are creative in what you can do. Then there's a possible solution. So for your worst case scenario plan, in case you can't pay your rent or mortgage, speak to your landlord and see if you can create a payment plan based on what you can pay for the month. Must know the amount. That's why you have to create the 3-month plan, right? Because if you need a $200 cushion, then you could ask, hey, listen, I know my rent right now is $1,000. I could only pay $800 for right now for the next 3 months. Can you do that for me? Most of them are willing to work with you. That's what they're doing. Know that there's no eviction going on, so I'm sure that they will prefer getting money than no money. And say that. Say, listen, I want to be a good tenant, and I understand that you need to have still some cash flow, but right now I can't do this. I can't do this payment, but I can do X, right? And that's how you have to come about it. If you have room, create space for a roommate. Create or many roommates. Like for instance, my mom actually closed off her living room. She's living, she lives there sometimes. Like actually not sometimes, but she lived when there was a recession. She lived there one time, and then her rooms were rented along with the hallway. Moving with family members, I did that in 2008 when I lost, not in 2008, in 2002, I believe. That was the dot-com boom recession. I had to move with my mom. And hey, it helped me a lot. And it actually helped me so much that I was able to buy my own apartment later on. Move to a cheaper city or state. Listen, you don't have to live where you are. You could live in other places as well that are cheaper and are better for your family. If you lose your job or in no savings, move in with a family member, sell items from your home, eBay, Instagram, etc. Speak to everyone and see if there are any tasks that they need help with. You're not above calling your old employer and saying, hey, I lost my job, but listen, you know how good I am, so therefore I could do any jobs, on per diem basis that you may need. We could work on how much it is, and I know you're strapped right now, but just know that I'm available. So that way, when they do have any possible opportunities, mind you, I did this in 2008, and it worked for me. If they have any opportunities, they will think of you first. So keep that in mind, okay? So this is basically this program right now. So these are the things that you need to think about when you are thinking of the next steps. Go back to your checklist. Make sure that you're making sure that you are following the checklist. The checklist is very important to follow. And the reason why I say that is because there are other videos and other steps and other information that I'm providing you that will help you through this journey. And with that being said, if you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out and email me at clara@resiliencygroupllc.com, and I'll be happy to help you. Even if it's just to look